Hello, lovelies. It's Gia here from Little Thread Tarot, and I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message is finding you blessed and full of abundance. Some of you might be going on a journey. Might be going on a journey to face your fears. Yeah, going on that internal journey of knowing yourself, going down the hermit's path. Okay, hermit came right back out. What's going on, Spirit? Okay, tell me to keep those turned over. What's on the back of the deck? The sun. Okay. Some of you have a very powerful protector spirit walking beside you, walking with you. They're helping you to go through a Kundalini awakening right now and to go through a realization, right? You're capturing this like sun energy and bringing it along with you, even in the night, even in the dark, even walking through. It's giving me very like cosmic trip, cosmic vibes. Okay, let's see. What's the first one here? Ooh, yeah. So 9 of Wands, yeah. So this spirit guide is walking with you as you're learning lessons, is learning lessons with you, is walking beside you. Okay. King of Wands. Ooh, King of Wands. Hey. What in the heck just happened? Hold on just 1 second. I'm not even gonna lie with y'all. This person's kind of spunky, or this energy is kind of spunky. It's kind of fiery. It's reminding me of kind of like, it's like a force. It's like a fire. So it's giving me like a, like fire. I indiscriminately burn all. I cleanse all. Yeah. Because spirit is giving me like this analogy that like you could start a fire to ward off your enemies, but you must be careful because the fire will burn you as well as your enemies. So it's kind of giving me that energy. Yeah, it's kind of giving me like I bring justice equally to everyone involved. Like just like I'm seeing like this character here like sitting on this throne, and they pick up that rod, that wand right there, and they're just like I hit everyone with it. Like, so if you're doing wrong, I'm gonna get you. If your enemies are doing wrong, I'm gonna get them. Like whoever's doing it, whoever needs a butt kicking, everybody's getting the light shone on them. So you work with the spirit guide, or you work with this energy, this entity, and they're saying like, like if you're doing wrong, I'll burn you too. Like if you're not doing right, like I'm gonna be harsh on you too. Like like I'm going to. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire too, right? Not only your enemies, but you as well. I have expectations out of you, and I have, it's like I expect a standard of decorum. I expect a level of respect. I expect a level of dedication. I expect a level of discipline from you too, right? From you, right? And I'm shining this light on all of this, right? So you could be working with a spirit guide right now, or with the energy, an entity right now that is really helping you to be like, hey, like, you're not just finna talk the talk, you're about to walk the walk yourself. I'll hold your feet to the fire too. Like, I will walk beside you, you know. But if you're doing all this self-sabotaging shit, like, you're gonna get burned too. Yeah, Page of Swords. You're gonna learn. This energy is gonna teach you some really powerful lessons. Some really powerful truths. Look how this person is kind of looking at the sword like, damn, I know this now. People could even come to you to ask you like how you learned this. You could feel like, because there's something here about like, I don't know, that it's giving me the impressionation that you're younger, and you even have like older people that have been doing what you do for a long time, and they come to you to get advice, or they come to you because it's kind of giving me like child prodigy, or like that kind of like prodigy, like you just have like such a powerful gift or such a powerful skill set, or it's like I know this now, and it's giving me the very vibes of like people will flock, people will come to you to ask you, how did you do this, how did you accomplish that, like how did you manage to do that? Yeah. And it's because spirit has given you this knowledge, this awakening energy here. Okay? You've been given this sort of truth, and it's a burden, you know, it's not like a burden, but it is something, you know. I'm being so drawn to this falcon here though, is they've got like the blinders on. Spirit could be saying that there's information that we're not letting you know because it might actually scare you, right? Like the blinders are on to not frighten them, or to not, you know, because if they see something, they'll react to it, right? The wild animal, if you're training the animal like a horse, or it's reminding me of like when you put like the blinders on a horse to like train them. I don't know that much about it, but just as like you put this on there, just keep them from getting spooked, right? And that's the kind of energy I'm getting here. Like we put blinders on you so that you wouldn't be spooked, so you wouldn't be too spooked by this, right? You know, it's coming slowly towards you. It's giving me kind of like, don't look them in the eye, like slowly come up to them and like learn their ways or something like that. Yeah, there's a lot of vibes of like kind of like training with a wild animal, or training with something. It's like you have to know how to use it, right? Again, you have to be careful because I indiscriminately burn, like I indiscriminately like lay out my justice or lay out the law. So if you've been doing this kind of back and forth juggling, if you've been doing any kind of wearing a mask to pretend, still playing one foot in the past, one foot in the present, one foot walking down your path, one foot not, still kind of going back and forth, teetering on the edge, the spirit guide is coming through to say like enough is enough. Like it's that's over with. Like the time is now. Or this judgment energy, like the time has come now. Yeah. Look. Look at the bird there. So this is giving me the energy of you sent off an energy. See how this person is like, they have their arm up, and see how they have like the protective glove on, like where they had like the eagle or the hawk like landing on them, and then they're like releasing and letting it go. So it's giving me the energy of like you let go of a prayer, or you said something like, I want help doing this, or I want to be relieved from this, or I want freedom from this, or I want to know how to get through this, or I want this, you know. You sent out this prayer, and you sent it out to these ships, right? Well, now these ships have come in, and you're kind of just like, oh, I don't know. Like, should I do that? Should I do this? I don't know. It's like, well, it's like you sent out for us, and you were waiting for these ships to come in. And here they've come in, exactly. They've come rushing in, and here it is. You know, it might have come in with a bit of a riddle or a bit of mystery. It might have come in a bit of mystery, but it's given me like you sent out this bird, right? And the bird returned here with a sword, and it returned here with the truth. And it turned here like, and it came back, like you sent it off, and then it came back like all trained and like with like equipment and like all this stuff, and you're like, what? And this bird came back, and it delivered the sword of truth to you. It delivered the sword to you. And now here you are, sitting here with this sword, like, oh wow, I wanted to know this, and now I do. For some of you, it's like a be careful what you wish for, or be careful of what you're asking for, because it could come knocking, it could come expecting something. Okay. There's something here, some kind of emotions, some kind of intense feelings that you refuse to bury or that you refuse to let go of. You refuse to examine or you refuse to lay to rest, right? And the spirit is saying you're about to go on a journey. Page Wands here with this. If you are to go on the journey with this King of Fire here, with this King of Wands, you know, you must lay to rest this emotional burden or baggage from your past. Or it's like, oh, hey, it's like I'm here, so we gotta go. It's like, it's like you sit there and you're like, oh, I just really wish that I had a trainer to get me trained up in the gym. Okay, so you're there, you're at the gym, you're with the trainer, and now you're just like sitting there like, I don't even know if I want to go. And it's like, well, you booked me, you paid for a whole year's worth of training from me. Here I am. Come on, let's go. And you're like, do I really want to do this? And this person is like, hey, we're here, we're booked. Yeah, but you're sitting here like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to accept this. I don't know, like, because you brought in this whole other sword, and now I have to actually sit here and like make a choice or make a decision. Now I have to make a move, you know. Again, I'm hearing that be careful, Jewish warrior, be careful, you know, what you ask for. King of Cups. Hmm. It's kind of giving me like a once you unsee it, like once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. It's like sometimes the truth feels like a burden, and it's like, it's already there. You've already known it. You've already seen it. So now what do you do? And Spirit is saying like, you're kind of like quenching this. Like, see how you're like pouring out these emotions and like you're creating like a whole ocean here between you and the ships that you asked to come in, right? You asked these ships to come in, and you're like, please, I need help crossing this ocean, and then the ships come in, and you're like, what? It's secretly it's you here creating the ocean, like, you're like, I need help crossing the ocean. It's like, well, you're creating the ocean, so right. And when the ships came in, you were like, I don't know. Even for some of you, it's like you had the opportunity to get on the ship. Like, look, you're here on dry land, but you're like back and forth and back and forth, and I don't know, should I? And everybody else is getting on the ship, and you're like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. I'm going back and forth, right? Then you got banged up, you got some lessons to learn, right? And then you're like, help, I need help crossing, like, here I am trapped over here, and this whole ocean popped up between me and where I really want to be and where I really want to go, you know. I'm not sure. I'm indecisive. It's all this ocean, all this water behind me, stopping me from making this choice, from making this decision. Maybe I should just give it to somebody else. Maybe I should let somebody else make the decision for me. But it's like this heavy burden of like you realizing it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah. It's like you realizing that, like, you're holding yourself back. Your indecisiveness is holding you back. Your fantasizing is holding you back. Yeah, it's up to you to take this leap of faith, right? It's up to you to take this leap of faith, but there you are again, hanging on the cliff, like you've jumped off, and then you were like, but wait, but what if I can't? But what if I can't fly? But what if the spirit doesn't hold me? But what if, and spirit's like, come on, you're hanging and dangling off the cliff. Like, what are you doing? You've got to make a choice. You've got to make a decision. You either actually trust or you don't. But there's some kind of situation here of it's like, but can't I just know? Can't you just show me that you're going to give me a parachute halfway down? Can't you just show me that there's a trampoline at the bottom that I'm going to bounce off of and I'm going to be okay? And Spirit's like, no. Like, Right? But you're like, can't you just go ahead and show me? Can you go ahead and show me? So it's giving me very much so like, I don't want to let go of the past until I see what's coming in the future. I want to know that I'm going to have what I've asked for, that it's right there, that it's waiting for me, that it's just standing there going, hi, I'm ready for you. And I can just let go and immediately just hold on to that thing, and I can feel safe and protected the whole time. Right? But Spirit's kind of like, it doesn't really work like that. Like, you need to take this leap of faith without knowing that Spirit's going to give you a parachute halfway down, without knowing that there's going to be a soft landing waiting for you, without knowing that you're actually jumping into someone's arms that's just off screen that you can't see. Like, you have to just let go. Yeah. There's all these fears of like, but what if I don't make it? What if I let go and there's just nothing but the bottom there and I just slam into the bottom, right? Like, what if? You have to know that you are the magician here creating your own reality, right? And if you believe that you're going to slam into the bottom, you're going to slam into the bottom. If you believe that Spirit has you and has your back and is going to catch you and it's going to materialize, you're going to be able to do a little spell and materialize a parachute on the way down, or materialize that, you can dive off into a little cup that's going to is gonna hold you, like you're, diving into the cut, like you're gonna be okay. But Spirit's like, like you're at the top of here, and Spirit's like, there's a cup at the bottom that you'll land in, and you're like, how the hell am I gonna land into a cup? Look at me. Like how like how is that gonna work? How is that cup gonna break my fall? What are you talking about, Spirit? It's magic. Right? You have to believe in the magic of the universe. You have to understand that Spirit is gonna stand up for you, is gonna fight for you, is gonna show up for you. You're almost kind of accusatory. You're kind of just like, you're tricking me, you're lying to me. You just want exactly. I want to just hold back. I want to hold myself back from this death energy. Like, no, I can't allow this transformation to happen. And Spirit is saying along the way, you're gonna transform and you're gonna turn and you're gonna, sprout wings and you're gonna fly. Just jump and trust us. Just jump. You're gonna be able to fly. I just heard that. You can fly. You can fly. You can fly. You can fly. You just need hope and faith in your heart, right? And belief, right? What is it? Faith and pixie dust? Hope, faith, and pixie dust, something like that. But yeah. But you're holding back from this transformation because you don't feel like it'll come, or you don't feel like you really have this inside you, but you do. Queen of Wands, you do. Hello? Like this spirit guide is saying, jump. Jump. Like they're calling from the heavens to tell you, hey, jump. You're good. Like you're gonna get caught. And along the way, you're gonna figure out, actually, I'm a queen of fire, right? Forge yourself, jump and forge yourself in the fire is what Spirit is saying. Oh, and you'll come out. You're going into this ace of wands, right? It's like this, not ace of wands, sorry, but this page of wands energy, where it's like, go on this journey, take this leap of faith, jump, jump, make the choice, don't hold yourself back from this transformation, give all fully into it, because you'll come out this Queen of Wands on the other side. That's why this spirit guide is here. But you're here being like, no, I don't want to. It looks painful. It requires dedication. It requires all. And the spirit's like, yeah, exactly. It requires dedication. It requires you to get up and you to drive for it and you to strive for it and you to plan for it and you to defend it and you to get up and do it. Like, I'm expecting. Like, I will give you what you're asking for. Like, right? It's like Spirit saying, I'm asking you to give up these like 3 coins, and you're going work with me. 3 of Pentacles, right? Work with me. Give up these 3 coins. Work with me. Partner up with me, and you will come out a shiny new penny on the other side. Queen of Wands energy. Okay, and I will help you unlock this Queen of Wands energy that is within you. And the Queen of Wands is somebody that does have, is like a teacher, where somebody will, people will come to you and be like, how did you do this? How did you become this Queen of Wands? What did you do? Ten of Swords. Well, actually, I had to go through a Ten of Swords, and I had to get buried I went through a Ten of Swords. I went through an ego death. I got buried. And then I rose up with a new truth, right? I had to go through this transformational, like, kind of figurative death process to raise back up, right? That's what the judgment energy is happening in that judgment energy, right? You're being rose and, you know, figuratively rose from the dead, right? Rose on the other side of this death transformational process, right? Yeah, I mean, this lover's energy right here, right? Spirit is saying, like, partner up with me. This person, it's to get this, receive this truth here, there is this partnering exchange energy that's happening here between you and this King of Wands energy, right? Strength energy. Have the strength to persevere through this and to allow this to come to an end. Stop fighting it, stop judging it, stop freezing it out. Stop, work with it, plan with it, go forward. Don't allow to be overwhelmed by your emotions from the past to stop you from creating a new beautiful future for yourself. Hello, Three of Pentacles. Work with me and we'll create something beautiful here. Something that you can reap the rewards from, right? And it's kind of giving me how, like, here's this man standing here, and he's put in all this work and he's seeing, and it's a person here harvesting, right? So they've put in all this work to build this harvest here. And it's there set in stone. It's something permanent. It's something that's always going to be there. It's a permanent change, you know. It's going from that 10 to the 1. Ace of Wands, right? And you will carry forward, right? So this spirit guide is saying, you will carry forward this energy forward with you. I will give you this. We will do this energetic exchange and you will be reborn again, carrying this energy forward with you, right? And it will be Ace, and it's this energy here. Let me look this up right quick because I'm being guided to look up the spiritual meaning of, like, a lizard or a gecko or something. Hold on, I'll be right back. So it says, lizards help us to see the importance of respecting and remembering our dreams and help us to depict subtle messages from deep within the mind. A lizard reveals our weaknesses, our strengths, and prompts the energy of change. Also, I see right here, it says red lizard, specifically a red lizard. If you're seeing a red lizard in a dream, may symbolize your own anger, hostility, or your instability. So it's like transmuting your anger, transmuting your pain. Red lizards can also be seen as a symbol of Kundalini energy, of Kundalini awakenings. Hello. Hello, hello. It certainly does say that. It certainly does. That's so funny because I got that with that hermit energy, that Kundalini awakening energy. Rebirth and transformation, to regenerate lost body parts. So it's something that was lost in the past, you're regrowing. Renewal just can symbolize renewal or change. It's also maybe related to shedding of their skin, which can represent letting go of the past. Everything we've been talking about, passion. Passion and intense emotions in this context, red lizards could represent fiery desires or romantic passion, power. Yeah, as a symbol of power, of strength, their toughness and resilience can inspire confidence and assertiveness. Yeah, so just transmuting your own energy that you've been through in the past, your anger, your aggression, and transmuting that into understanding. Also represent someone in your life who exhibits such traits or a situation that triggers your negative emotions in you. Yeah. So this is about not allowing triggering scenarios to have so much power over you, to have the strength of willpower, of confidence, of self, to not allow external validation to sway you in one direction or another, to not allow to find a confidence and a true center of self, a true awakened version of self, a much more I'm about what I'm about kind of version of yourself. Having that true mindset, I know who I am. So if others have different representations of me that live in their head, that's their issue, that's their problem, that's their choice, right? It's not on me to feel that way or view that way or have to mirror what they see in me. I can be who I truly am. And just because some of you also might deal with being a mirror to a lot of people in your life, and so you have a lot of people, because you shine that mirrored self back onto a lot of people project onto you, or they might even like attack you, like verbally or emotionally or spiritually, because you mirror back the parts of themselves that they need to change or that they need to grow out of, or yeah, I feel like you might trigger a lot of people. And there is this kind of energy of learning how to know the difference between when something is really resonating true for you, and when it's actually a projection that somebody else is casting onto you, right? Being able to say, are these my emotions, are these my feelings, are these my thoughts about myself and about my capabilities, or is it someone else's, something else's, you know? Is it the fears, and is it the doubts that I've been taught to believe in? Is it my own internal shadow or fear based energy? Is it my own ego, or is it my true, like, higher self, true guidance within me? It's also something about here about being able to supremely tell the difference between friend and foe, too, right? Being very quickly to be able to discern whether or not a person is on your path, whether they resonate within you, whether they are in a similar frequency to you, or whether or not they are in an antagonistic frequency to you, whether or not they are creating discord in your frequency. And it's a really strong power of being repelled and repelling people away from you. You have actually a really strong gift to repel people who aren't meant to be in your life away from you, but you might have seen this as a lot of fear or a lot of rejection. So spirit is saying that, like, something that you might have seen as a weakness or something that you might have seen as a flaw within you has actually been a kind of secret gift. You just have had the tendency to hold on for too long, or to attach yourself to people who were actually supposed to be unavailable, or who actually were showing you through their actions that they really didn't deserve to have a place in your life. But because of your own internal insecurities, or attachment issues, or abandonment wounds, or rejection wounds, or lack wounds, fear of things being taken away from you, fear of being rejected kind of wounds that you might have had, fear of being isolated away and alone, that kind of energy, you actually saw it as kind of like a curse, or you saw it as, why couldn't I be the same as everybody else? Why can't this person, just love me and appreciate me? Why do they always run away from me? Why do they push me away? Why do they not treat me the way, why don't they just treat me decently? And it's because, like, allow people to show you how they really feel about you, regardless of the things that they say. Because you can have somebody that hates your guts, and they'll still come to you, they'll still ask things from you, they'll still ask favors from you, they'll still say whatever they want to. So there's this kind of energy of, like, allowing the veil of that neediness, or that desperateness, or that wounded side of you that wanted to cling to people and things and situations that were actually harmful for you, excuse me, the veil of that to be lifted away, and to see, like, well, if I don't vibe with somebody, it's fine. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with me. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. We just don't vibe, right? I don't have to demonize them, and I don't have to tear myself down. Now, if they want to tear me down because I don't vibe with them, because I don't resonate within them, that's a them issue, not a me issue. It just proves to me even further so that this person does not deserve and does not have a place in my life, right? So it's like this confidence in myself that, well, if somebody else rejects me, whatever. It's water off my back. I don't care, you know. Yeah. In the future, you won't be so triggered by these, you're healing an abandonment wound or something kind of like that. So, you won't be so triggered by that in the future. You'll just be able to discern, like, and be like, oh, well, this person is treating me this way, so that means they're not for me. This person is saying this, but they're doing this. I see, I don't need to keep them in my life, even despite the fact that we don't get along or that I don't see eye to eye to them or that, that they're not a right match for me, that they're not a right, whatever. To have an acquaintance that you don't agree with, whatever, but to have somebody close into a friend circle that, or to partner up with somebody who's incompatible to you, like, there's like this feeling here of being like, I am no longer attracted, or I no longer attract people who are incompatible. And if I see them as incompatible, I don't see that as I have a problem, I have an issue, I need to change, I need to mirror them. um I need to mold myself into what they want me to be. There's this kind of freedom from the need to feel like you need to do that, right? Yeah, judgment. There's this air of judgment, there's this air of knowledge, there is this weight of responsibility and of knowledge and of I see things clearly, which again is a weight, like to see things clearly, to know what people are thinking around you, to know what the truth of what people are. It might be like, damn, that's kind of harsh. It's kind of a harsh thing to see. It's a harsh thing to know, but it is a strength to know who is truly friend and who is truly beside you, you know. It might be a lonelier road than it was before. It might be a road that doesn't get you accepted by the masses or accepted by certain people, but those people just aren't in your frequency anyway. And Spirit is saying, anyway, you actually will. You actually feel like, because it's like the people who don't care if you agree with them or if you like them, that people actually like, right? The person that's trying to desperately be liked or be picked or be wanted, or, to change themselves to adapt to everyone else around them, they're actually, they get less respect. They actually get, people don't genuinely respect that energy more than a person who is just like, well, I am who I am and I am what I am and it is what it is. If we don't get along, it is what it is. People actually in the long run respect that more than people who, who conform, to people who, change around who they are, to just so they fit in, or just so they're picked, or just because they're chosen, or just so they don't stand out. The people that have the bravery to stand out, to be different, to be who I am, regardless what anybody thinks. I don't care. Those are the people that are, like, yeah, I'm hearing that from the craft. We are the weirdos, and it's fine. Like, I don't care. It's that kind of, I could be different. So what? you know when in the end somebody might have been able to be like, you're weird or you're strange, like, why don't you check, like, why do you do that? And before you might have been like, well, I don't know, I don't know, and now you're kind of just like, yeah, I am. Oh, well, you don't fuck with it, okay, what is that supposed to mean to me? There is this level of independence that you have here of, I accept and I love myself, and that's damn sure good enough for me. I don't care if anybody else accepts or loves me. And actually, you will have more people that respect you and love you and want to be around you, and when you are that person, because the people that choose to be around you will be people who are also vibrating in the, I am who I am, and I respect that, and I respect that other people can be allowed to be who they are. You will attract much more of those people, instead of attracting people that expect you to conform, that expect you to change, that bully you into doing what they want or pressure you into being somebody different. You will gather people around you, and you will only accept, people around you who vibrate on that same level of, I don't give a fuck, like, I'm gonna be who I am. Granted, I am trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. I'm trying to be high vibrational. I'm trying to do what's right for me and my community and for the people around me, and that helps too, right? And you're just a good person trying to worry about your business and do your own thing, right? Good person, that looks different to a lot of different people, but there's this kind of energy of you actually stepping up and becoming this higher font version of you, stepping up and actually being this person that people come to and they're like, how did you get so much self-confidence? How did you how did you learn how to just break away from, how did you break out of that? It's like people, it's like when somebody's like, oh, I went through this and I survived, or I went through, I became sober and I've been sober for 20 years. Okay, now I'm going to become a sponsor and help other people do the same thing. Or now I'm going to become, like a teacher, and other people are going to come to me and be like, wow, how did you take control of your life? How did you overcome your insecurities? How did you overcome all the stuff? Well, I partnered up with a spirit guide. Well, I believed in myself. Well, I went on this inner journey. I went through a Kundalini awakening. What was a Kundalini awakening? Or what's this? How do you partner with spirit guides? It's like, teach me. How did you do what you do? Right? How did you do? How did you start over? And it's kind of giving this energy of like, okay, well, this is what I did. Yeah. Ooh, wee. And yeah, and there's this energy of you becoming that wise teacher, of you becoming that wise leader. Ooh, cool. You might even start some kind of platform or foundation, or you might write a book, or you're passing down your knowledge in some type of way. Yeah, high priestess. So you're being seen as the Hierophant high priestess. Wow. That's powerful energy. That's real powerful energy. Yeah, and people are gonna see you put in the work. And they're gonna be like, wow, how did you do that? How in the hell? How'd you change your life like that? How'd you get control? Whatever it is. Oh, I lost a bunch of weight. Well, how did you lose how did you do that? Well, I got healthy. How did you do that? Well, I tried this and I tried that. I read this book and I went to this therapist and I tried this. Like, how did you change it? Like, yeah. So it's kind of like this, like, how did you change? How did you leave behind? Yeah, exactly. How did you evolve out of and leave behind all these rough waters, all this fighting, all this generational toxicity? Like, how did you evolve out of it? How did you get out of it? Yeah. It's like I left behind all that from the past. Wow. But mostly along the way, Spirit doesn't want you to concentrate on being this like teacher. They want you to concentrate on just like making yourself happy, going towards your victory, and not being afraid to put yourself on the line, to put yourself in situations where you will be faced many death moments in your life. You will be faced many transformational issues, and don't ever be scared to understand that there is victory in pushing yourself. I don't want to say pushing yourself to the limit, but it's like, don't be scared to push yourself to take it there so that you can receive the enlightenment, and to receive, put it out there, take the risk, take that leap of faith. Don't be scared to take that fool's journey and to take that energy and to go there, to allow yourself to transform, to allow yourself to say, wow, I'm this person today. And maybe, 5 years from now, you're a different person, and that's okay. That doesn't make your past version any less true of a person. It doesn't make your present version any less true of a person. It's saying, yeah, I was a type of person that made mistakes in my past, that did this, but I evolved out of it. I changed out of it. I grew out of it, and you can too, you know, like I did. And it could just be as simple as you just telling your story, as you just being like, yeah, I left behind that and I grew out of it. Wow, that's an inspiration to me. Wow, that's amazing to me. Like, wow, it's really inspiring me to get up and to do better, to try better, and to want to be better. Yeah, it really inspires me to open up my heart and to, to share and to create and to help others. And it's kind of like this domino effect. Yeah. And there would be this beautiful exchange, and then the gift that you will give it, the gift that you are given, you will give to others. And it's kind of like this pay it forward, like beautiful, like domino effect energy of like you creating goodness in your life, making the right choices, choosing yourself, choosing to rise above, choosing to be the best version of yourself, and then that inspiring other people to do the same. You know, exactly. Yeah. And it's kind of like this, yeah, it's this energy of is coming back around. So we're going back to the imagery again, and here you are, you have grown your own garden here, and now you've actually thrown down that glove and you've released and let go of this. Maybe even passing it on, like after it's grown for you and it's made this, it'll pass on to go to somebody else. You know, that's giving me a kind of like you starting like something and then passing it on to the next generation, or passing it on to the next, and then being able to like reap your rewards of what you've created. Yeah, so this Five of Swords again is giving me this kind of energy of like a lot of different people have thrown their truth and have thrown a lot of different truths and a lot of different beliefs at you, and you are here like holding this one up like this is the one. You know, I'm willing to do what it takes to live this truth, to live my truth, to throw down these other options and to be able to actually look and say no. You know, I can let go of this indecisiveness with this Two of Swords energy. I can let go, and I can even Three of Swords let go of any kind of heartbreak or things from my past that caused this, because I know my truth now. And there's this kind of like foundational energy here. And Spirit might even be getting you there in a way that you really can't see. Yeah, they're like, we're kind of having to hide, we're kind of having to sneak, we're kind of having to kind of get you there without you knowing. And yeah, because that Three of Swords has definitely been something that has held you back. But you see those Three of Swords are out of your heart now, and you're healing, you're mending. And you might have been having a hard time or a hard trouble like acknowledging like the healing, or acknowledging the mending, or acknowledging like how well you're doing and how much you have done, and you know how much healing you've actually been doing. Maybe it's been hard to see it along the journey that you've been going on, but Spirit is saying, yeah, with this Temperance energy here, right? You're being blessed with the sight that, yeah, you are healing. Yes, you are mending. Yes, you are, you know, you are being replenished. You are, you know, you're transmuting this energy, and it's within you. You can, you know, you can take it. You can use it. You can. Yeah. So Spirit is saying that, yes, that at the end of the day, this Ten of Cups will come for you. You know, you will have that energy. You will have that moment. But first, to bring it back around, you have to stop delaying this death energy to happen, right? You're not allowing this to happen so that you can't, you know, there's this kind of energy of, okay, you need to have this ending so that you can be buried, so that you can come back anew. I'm glad Spirit waited until after the Halloween season to bring out this message. Yeah. But there, you know, there is a brand new beginning happening here for you. There's a possibility. Um, and Spirit is saying that you're kind of goofing around about it. You know, Spirit is saying like maybe you're having a hard time realizing just like how significant, or maybe you don't have a hard time realizing how significant, and it's kind of overwhelming to you. It's like, oh wow, I could take this one cup and create 10 cups, and that's a lot of responsibility and a lot of choice on me, and a lot of, you know, this that I'm being given. But there's even an energy here of feeling like you're like, oh my gosh, I lost my fish. I lost this fish out of my cup. But again, they're giving me that whole like, like diving into the cup, like right where I talked about earlier, where I talked about how, the magician's trick of diving, diving into a cup. Hmm. Getting like several different downloads of this. What are you trying to say, Spirit? Can you narrow it down for me, please? Hmm. There's an energy here. Okay, so I'm getting like two different, like several different messages through imagery. There's an energy here of this fish representing your prosperity, and understanding that if you keep your prosperity locked away in this little cup, you miss the chance for it to jump out here into the ocean, this vast ocean. So there is something here. Earlier, remember we were talking about earlier where you were this King of Cups pouring out all this water and this emotion, making this ocean here. There is something about how your prosperity is actually here in this emotion, in this transmutation, in the growing and the healing that you've been doing. Your prosperity is in that. Your prosperity is actually in these emotions that you've kept locked away, or that you've been told your whole life, oh, these emotions are just holding you up, they're holding you back, they're keeping you trapped. Look, and then look, there's the fish tail right there swimming in the ocean, right? He jumped out of that little cup, and there he is swimming in this whole emotion. And here you are being like, oh, I guess I'll just dump all this out of my cup because my cup is worthless now. But here, in dumping out all this water out of your cup, you're actually creating a whole ocean for this prosperity to swim around in. Again, there is this kind of energy of like something that you thought was a weakness, something that you thought was actually something that was holding you back, is going to end up actually creating this 10 of cups for you, right? It's actually going to end up creating this whole situation here for you. Something that you felt like was a weakness is going to turn around and be what heals you, what brings you healing, what brings you satisfaction with the star energy here. Again, there's this energy here of here you are in this ocean. Instead of being there up on that island, you've actually dived into the ocean now, and now you're taking cups full from this like ocean, from these emotions, and actually pouring it out and watering this garden, and using these emotions and these things that you might have been taught were your weaknesses to actually create a strength here for yourself. It's like, oh, look, we'll have all this ocean to actually water all this garden with. I have all these emotions, I have all these emotions and all this rich energy and all this. And then look, there is the bird in the background that you released, right? Still flying over there above, right? Here, guiding you through all of this healing, through all of these steps here. You're not alone. You're being protected. You're being guided. There's this kind of this energy of see, you're not being punished. You're actually being protected. You're actually being guided. If things get taken away from you, it's because they weren't meant for you. What's meant for you will never, will doesn't mean that it'll never leave you, but it'll always come back, or it'll always be meant for you if it is. And so there's this kind of energy of this sun energy here of seeing things, being more playful, being more understanding, seeing that all your decisions, led you here, and that, you know, excuse me, seeing like decisions that you made in your past that you might have felt shamed over, that you might have felt like were mistakes, were just portions of your journey that led you here. If you tend to be really hard on yourself, or have a lot of shame, or have a lot of, blame about yourself and about the decisions that you made in the past, yeah, bring love to the situation. Bring love, bring forgiveness, bring understanding to the situation, because your cup runneth over, right? You always have enough. You always have this eternal well or inside of you, and actually it's actually your strength. So there's something here about your emotions or about your feelings, things that you have been taught where things maybe you've been taught to devalue. Like, even if you're like, oh, I have a feeling that this is going to happen, or I think this is going to happen, and then you have people like, you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not seeing things correctly, or seeing that, like, it's like teaching you to question your vision, to question your thought process, to question your instincts, to question what you're doing, and there's been a lot of, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're saying, shut down, shut down, you don't know, when the truth of the matter is you do. When the truth of the matter is, you know how you feel. You know what your instincts are telling you. And so there is this kind of like liberation from, you know what? No, I do know what I'm saying. I do know what I'm talking about. What the words that I have to say and my inspiration, the things that I have, they're valuable and they hold weight, and they deserve to take up space. And there's that whole, like, actually what you told me was a weakness within me was actually one of my greatest strengths, right? My emotions, my instincts, my feelings, my gut feelings, they're never wrong. They guide me, you know? And I've just been God's just been filling up this cup, and then I've been told by everybody else, well, that what's in that cup is a weakness, and then I've just been pouring it out and pouring it out and pouring it out and pouring it out, thinking that it didn't have value, or thinking that, you know, that it wasn't going to give me what I needed, because everybody else around me told me that what was in my cup did not have value. And I truly felt like what was in my cup, my love, the type of love that I had to give, the type of person that I am, I felt like it didn't have value because it was not valued by other people around me. And there's this kind of energy of, like, you've just been creating this whole ocean of this emotion around you based on the fact that everybody else around you has been telling you that what's in your cup is not valuable. And Spirit is saying, like, see that you have had so much in your cup. So this whole time we've been here filling up your cup, just waiting for you to see that it does hold value, and that it is you believing these other people's lies and believing these other people's misjudgments, and that has created this ocean of between you and your goals, which is your ships coming in, right? What you really want, who you really want to be, how you want to be rescued, or you want to be saved from your own self. Because there's this kind of energy of, like, save me from myself, save me from, oh, well, I'm just a big stupid, crybaby, and I just need to be saved from all these emotions and all these feelings and all these things, so they've just caused a bunch of problems for me my whole life, because I've surrounded myself with people who don't value what I am or what I bring to the table. I have been surrounded by people who don't value me and don't value what I bring to the table. Well, then you're sitting at the wrong table. That's what Spirit is saying. Like, you've been sitting at the wrong table. You've been feeling like this one table that is full of people who don't value you, who don't see you, that has told you, well, we don't like when they have water in the cup, right? We only want you to bring wine to the party, and you just have all this water in your cup, and that's not good enough, right? When next door or three tables down, there's a whole table full of people that have all this water in their cup, and like, God, water is so good. It's so healthy for you. It's so good for you. We love having water in our cup. And you could have just gone to that other table and said, hey, I have water in my cup. And they're like, oh, we all do too. Like, please, we only allow people that have water in their cup to come to this table. And you're like, wow, really? It's like, wow, I've never had people value the fact that I had water in my cup. I've always just been told I should feel bad because I don't have wine in my cup. And it's like, well, no, we value the fact that you have water in your cup. You have a boundless, endless supply of this water in your cup, and that's beautiful. And that's sacred, and that's your gift, that's your magic, that's the person that you are. And that's the way God made you, or that's the way the universe made you, or that's the way you were meant to be. I'm sorry that everybody else told you that it was stupid that you had water in your cup, because eventually those people sitting over there just drinking wine all day are going to want some kind of actual hydration. They're going to want some kind of water. And that was the thing. Like, they would only value if every once in a while they were like, actually, I'm really parched. I really need to drink something other than wine. So I'll take a good little sip of your water. And while they're emptying out your cup, being like, God, that's so good. It's so refreshing. It's so good. Glad I took that drink. Boom. Now get away because you don't have wine. Now I want wine again. Well, I don't have wine. I have water. Well, get out of here because all I want is wine. And that's kind of the metaphor of the people that you have been around. You know, it's like they knew your value. They knew, but because of their own selfish needs, because of their own selfish desires or their own addictions. You know, maybe you've been sitting at a table full of like winos and you've been sitting at a table full of alcoholics that are like, I don't need water, but every once in a while they need a big tall sipping glass of water, right? And they take a big giant sip, take the whole thing, and they're like, wow, I feel so much better. Now I can consume 10 more glasses of wine because I've had your one glass of water. And you're just like, well, I would really like to have some water back. You know, there's nothing in my cup. It's like, well, all I have to give you is wine. And you're like, well, my cup really doesn't hold wine. It holds water. And it's like, well, I don't value what's in your cup, even though they did. They pretended like they did. They would, you know, it's that kind of getting stuck in a cycle of constantly offering, you know, that cup to people who are just like, ew, gross. I don't want that, you know? And so, you know, you're offering it to the wrong people because, you know, they just didn't value what you had. They didn't value who you were. They didn't value the love that you had to give, you know? And when you see the value of what you have to give, you will see the value in leaving behind people who don't value you, cutting ties with people who don't value you, and going and seeking out people who are like, we love people that have water in their cups, you know? And I have water in my cup, so we can come together as a two cup and completely, you know, fill each other's cups up, and we're good. We match frequencies, and we're good, you know? I value so much a person that has water in their cup, just like me. And that's exactly what the journey that this spirit guide is taking you on. This King of Fire is taking you on this journey of seeing that, you know, there is no value in staying around people who don't value you. Yeah, so run, go, flee. Yeah. Yeah. And you've been refusing to walk away or to let go of this because you've kind of been in delusion. You've kind of also been like holding on to this transformation. Again, like I said, holding on to this transformation and not allowing it to happen, being scared that all you've ever known is that table full of people. It's like, yes, it might hurt to be here surrounded by people who reject my cup because it's water and not wine, but it's all I've ever known. I didn't even know. I had never even turned around and stepped away from the table long enough to see that, to look around and see that there were other tables, other options, other abilities. I felt blinded by the fact that I just wanted to be accepted at this table so bad. But Spirit is saying justice. Learning the truth, although it's burdensome, you know, okay, your friends, your family, they don't, you know, it's not the healthiest thing to stay around them, you know, they don't value. It's hard to accept. Oh, past loved ones just really didn't value you. They really didn't see you. They really didn't love you to their fullest capacity, you know. They didn't love you in the way you needed to be loved. That's a heavy burden kind of to bear, to be like, damn, the truth that I feel like I wasted a lot of my life, devil energy, trying my hardest to bargain and plead to sit at this table with the devil energy. I wanted it so bad, you know? And it was my own internal devil energy that kept me trapped in these karmic cycles of wanting so bad to be loved and to be accepted by people who were not ever going to love and accept me. But that pain was familiar. That pain was familiar, and I knew how to handle that. I didn't know how to handle turning around and seeing, you know, going and exploring and finding other ways, but I had to fight my way out of it. And that's what Spirit is telling you, like, get up. Get up, defend yourself, fight your way out of it. Because like I said, there'll be plenty of people that'll be like, what? You got water too? Me too. Look at this whole stream of water that I got. I love to drink water. it's so healthy and refreshing, and it quenches my thirst better than anything else. Yeah, and it is that kind of feeling of intoxication, right? That's what this devil energy is this feel of intoxication. Like, yeah, drinking a glass of wine every once in a while feels great, but if all you ever drink is wine, like you're just constantly drunk all the time, you're constantly sick all the time, you're not getting the nourishment that your body really needs, you get worn down. That's like choosing to stay in those addictive karmic cycles, choosing to stay, because it's like, oh, the wine smells sweet, and oh, it's tempting, and it's, just it's tempting to stay in this karmic cycle because it's all you've ever known. And what would happen if I actually got sober and stopped drinking this wine and drank a little bit of water? Then I'd actually have to start thinking about my past, and it's hurtful to think, oh my gosh, I've actually been hurting myself drinking this wine my whole time. Actually, all these people in my life and in my friends and my family that have been encouraging me my whole life to only drink wine have actually been wrong. They've actually been misguiding me, and they've actually been mistreating me, and they've actually been encouraging me to mistreat myself and to mistreat others, to not show up for it. This is all, oh, it's what I was taught in childhood. It's painful to go through that sobering process of finally getting those first drinks of water and really starting to learn, like, wow, I actually really like to drink water over drinking this intoxicating wine. I actually like the clarity that truth brings to me over the dull blurriness that staying in this karmic cycle gives me, right? It might be intoxicating, it might feel good, it might be enthralling, it might be all of these things in the moment, but then once I actually learned that it's really my dark or my shadow side or my shadow energy. It's really, it's actually keeping me trapped. Although it might feel good in the moment and it might feel satisfying, it's actually it's keeping me imprisoned. It's keeping me trapped. It's keeping me locked in cycles. Exactly. I knew it was going to come out. I knew it was going to come out in spirit saying, let those glasses of wine that have always been your past, that have always been what you have, let them spill. They're spilling and you're like, oh my God, but why? Let them spill. Because there's these deep glasses of water here, and then look, suddenly here, if you follow this, there's a bridge, there's a way to cross over. I'm hearing bridge over troubled water, like a bridge over troubled water. Here it is, like you've been drowning here. I see the man drowning in these oceans, drowning in this emotion, drowning in this rejection, drowning in this fear. And Spirit is saying here, if you really actually detox from this karmic, from this devil energy long enough, you will see that it's actually hurting you, that it's actually not helpful for you, and that it's actually much better and healthier for you to turn your back on all this energy right here and to cross this bridge over to something better, right? That's what this is like. It's kind of like a hand. It's like a here, like I'll help you, like let me help you. Exactly. An Ace of Pentacles. Here's a hand, like let me help you. Mm-hmm. But there is obviously this fear of, but wait, everybody in my whole family has always said that here, that getting drunk, that dancing in the wine fields, and that, that it's all so airy fairy and so beautiful. And it's reminding me of the kind of where it's like, if you ever go to the Fey world, don't eat or drink because you'll stay there. You'll be trapped there. You'll never be able to go home. And it's reminding me of, what was that book series? I can't remember what it was called. I used to read it back in the day. Is it like the Blood and Bone series? Where it was like the people, and they were like, some of them were like half angels, some of them had like angel blood, some of them had devil blood. I remember that. And then like the main protagonist found out that like her and the guy that she was interested in were like brother and sister or something. Yeah, I kind of remember that. But anyway, there was a portion in that when she went to where they went to like the Fae to visit the Fae, and everything seemed beautiful. But if you really actually like lifted the glamours and lifted back, there were people there that looked like they were good, like happy, having a good time, like dancing around in a circle. But when the guy, Jace, I think that was his name, or Jade or something like that, that she was with, like lifted the veil, it's like, do you actually see who they really are? Do you see what's actually really happening? The veil, the glamour that was over the people there, like lifted, And some of the people there were like skeletons that were like animated skeletons still dancing. And it's like the Fae trick people to be here, and they trick them into feeling like they're dancing forever, happy at this party, but really actually they're being trapped here, ending their own lives. Like, um, they trap them in this delusion and this illusion that they're just partying and having a good time and, feeling good and feeling free, when really they're dancing until they die. And then even after they die, they're still skeletons, dancing. And there was like Fae people like weaving flowers and stuff in and out of their skeleton parts and stuff, like dressing up their skeletons, dressing up the dead bodies, dancing at the party. And she was just like, oh, this is actually like a horror scene, like it's actually, they made it seem like it was also beautiful and also happy and glamorous, but that's not really, and that's the devil's illusion, right? Like that's the illusion of it, the alluring illusion of it, that it feels good and it'll always feel good, but really you're actually hurting yourself. Just like true, like substance addictions or something, it feels good in the moment, but really actually, you're destroying your body. You're, really actually you're, starting to destroy your relationships with friends and family, and you start going down a path of, lying and cheating and stealing and, to get your fix, to get that happiness just for like a moment of bliss. And you're destroying your life for moments of bliss, right? And that's kind of the energy that it's giving me, right? It's like realizing, oh, well, I was begging and pleading to stay at this table full of people who are really honestly just trading their long-term happiness for moments, for single little moments of bliss, because it feels good to drink wine now, but it would never, but if wine was the only thing I could ever drink forever, like, no, I wouldn't want to, like it would suck. Yeah, it's nice to have a glass of wine here and there, but if wine was the only thing I could ever drink, no thank you. And this is like a table, it's like you've been sitting at a table full of people that have been trying to convince you that drinking wine for every single meal, any single time you put something to your lips, it needs to be wine. Otherwise, what are you doing? You know, that's the kind of energy that it's giving me. Nine of Swords. You're battling against these feelings, these dreams, these nightmares, these illusions, you know, these conjured feelings that you won't be loved, that you won't be accepted, that no one will, that no one will be there or stand beside you, or, it's okay. And the spirit guide is here saying, I'm here to free you. I'm here, but it's not pretty, right? Having this tower moment and having the veil lifted and seeing yourself and seeing other people in your life for who they really are, and for what they're really actually doing on a spiritual level in your life. It's not easy to see those things. It's not easy to, because these are your friends, these are your family, these are the people that have raised you and taken care of you. You love these people, even if your love is toxic or codependent, or you still love them. And it's hard to see them for the truth that they are, to see you for what really, what they're really doing in your life. It's hard to do that. Sometimes we live in denial for a long time, and yeah, but it's time. There it is. Because the spirit guide has said, hey, I was the one that sent out this eagle of truth to you. I was the one that laid this truth to bear and sent it back. You prayed to me and I answered you. I gave you the truth and I opened your eyes. Now it's time for you to actually have the fire, have the strength inside of you to cut those ties, to do what you need to do, to have the strength to stand up from that table and say, this is a bunch of bullshit. And if you don't want my water, I'll go find somebody who does. Because water is the shit, okay? Because water is life-giving and it's lifeblood, and it's what I really need. It's who I need to be. It's who I naturally am. But you guys are trying to convince me that I don't need it, that I don't need it. That I can live just fine off of fucking monsters and fucking liquor for my whole life. Like, you're crazy. I can't. I'm not less of a person because I can't. I just don't want to live that life. So you might have a lot of people in your life telling you that, hey, like, you're crazy because you're improving yourself, because you're going to church, because you're going vegan, because you're doing this. It's an inconvenience on me. It's an inconvenience on your other friends and your family members and blah, 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 all this other stuff. But do you. Live you. Allow other people to live their life. Don't become one of those obnoxious people. But at the same time, like, live your truth. And you don't need to listen to people who try to convince you that your truth is false, that your truth is a lie, just because it doesn't align with theirs, or just because it's inconvenient for them. You're gonna have people who who are like, wait, like, wait, you don't mirror me anymore. You don't mirror my wounds. You don't mirror my thought process anymore. We can't be friends anymore. Or you're being different, or you're being brand new now. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm healing. Yeah, exactly. The strength card is the card that overcomes the devil energy, right? Rely on your strength and live in that peace and in that truth that it provides for you, right? And that's what this spirit guide is here to tell you. It's like, I'm here to bring in the courage and the strength for you to overcome this devil energy, to go through this Kundalini awakening, to go through this process, and to allow this death process, to allow this to end, to see that it's not truly in your highest and best good to stay here, locked in this situation, believing these lies, and telling yourself that you're less than because you don't conform to these people who want to stay locked in devil energy, right? I mean, you also don't have to demonize them, but you've learned. You've been here learning these lessons, and Spirit is saying, like, hey, like, it does you no good to see the truth if you don't put the truth into work in your life, and that's what you need to be doing. Yeah. You need to grab this justice for yourself. It's being offered to you, and you need to grab your opportunity to have it. You're going to be given this opportunity to walk away from this table and to create something new for yourself. Take it. Exactly. Take it. Create it. Become this new progenitor of this new thought process, this new line of this new lineage. Yeah, it is your destiny. It is your, yeah, just that. It's your destiny to do this, to be the founder, to walk away from what does not walk in the past, what does not, you know, to walk away and to not see it as a weakness, to walk away from it. You are going to be the founder, the new founder of this new legacy, of this new thought process, of this new justice for your family line, for you, you know. For some of y'all, it's going to be as simple as, like, I don't want my kids or people that come after me to grow up thinking the same way that my parents taught me to think. You know, I've tried my whole life, or I've been fighting my whole life to unlearn that, and I'm not just going to, exactly, I'm not just going to go back. I'm going to start over. You know, I'm going to start over. And it's scary to start over. It's scary to think, oh, I'm the first one in my family who's got out, you know. And unfortunately, that's not always going to be welcomed with, like, the highest regard, and you're not always going to be cheered on. But there will be people that are cheering you on. Your ancestors are cheering you on. A lot. You will have friends and family in your life that do cheer you on, that are proud of you. But, you know, the negative voices will be very loud. But Spirit is saying keep going regardless. Yeah. Yeah. So Spirit God is saying, like, I'm going to keep giving you opportunities to get off this wheel, to get out from underneath the devil energy on this wheel, and to, you know, take this mystery path, right? Because there's kind of like, there's a devil energy, there's a kind of half back and half and forth playing around with it, and there is a, okay, I'm really sinking in, I'm really going for the mysteries here. I'm going to grab, you see that sword? I'm going to grab this sword, and I'm going to really listen to it, and I'm going to listen to the guidance of, you know, my angels and my ancestors, of those beings around me, you know, and I can listen to my arrogance, or I can listen to my stubbornness, or I can listen to my pride, you know, and stay on the bottom of this wheel. Okay. Okay. Or I can listen to, you know, my higher self, my higher knowledge, my higher beings, my angels, my spirits, my guides, and I can end up on top of this wheel. But it's really up to you. It's really up to you what part of the wheel, because you'll have guides that'll guide you to stay on the bottom of the wheel, and you'll have guides that'll guide you to be on the top. So it's your choice. It's really, really your choice as to where you want to land, to where you want to go, to what you want to be here. Okay, that's what I have for you. Thank you guys so very much for being here with me today. I really appreciate it. I hope this gave you the love light or clarity that you needed for your situation. Okay. If it didn't, I'm so sorry. You know, go check out another reading, or go check out, you know, if it didn't resonate for you, if it's not for you, that's okay. This might just not be your reading, or I might not be the reader for you. That's okay too. I wish you good luck out there on your journey. Okay. Thank you guys so very much for your time, for your energy, for your focus. Thank you to your spirit guides for guiding you here to get this information. Thank you to my spirit guides for helping me, delivering this information to me, as well as helping me and keeping me safe while I did so. Hey, babies. Okay. Thank you guys so very, very much. If you're interested in getting a personal reading with me, my contact information is listed down below. Like the content if you liked it, and I will see you lovelies in the next one, okay? Thank you guys so very much again, and bye!